Hi guys, I have had some requests for a brow tutorial. I know we have a lot of extra time on our hands right now with our lovely self-quarantine isolation stage of our life. So if you are curious how you get your brows to look like this, it's just my go-to everyday routine. It's pretty easy, so keep on watching if you want a little tutorial. So first of all, one of the most important things I think about brows is what products you're using. There's a ton out there. My absolute favorite is Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a go-to brow product, I feel like. So there's a few different ones. There's this is a pomade. Looks like this. Open it and it's like this. There's also these little pencil sticks. And then you can use also this product would just be like a powder product. So what I love is the pomade. That's what I use on my brows. It's tricky to use, so it takes practice. So if you've tried it before and it didn't work for you, I'd definitely try it again. The key is to go in so slowly and use so little product, and then you can build it up as much as you want. But if you go in too heavy-handed, you're definitely going to get too dark of brows. So first of all, Anastasia Beverly Hills, I use the color medium brown. Now if we're gonna match my color exactly to my hair, you're gonna match your color to your roots first of all. Not a lot of people have the balayage hair. My hair is a lot lighter down here than it is up here, so you definitely want to match the color to your roots. My color would be dark brown, but it's easy to go in too heavy with the dark brown color in my opinion, and since I have some lighter hair pieces in my hair, I choose to use the medium brown, and then I can go in a little bit darker with the medium brown and almost turn it into a dark brown. So that's kind of my go-to. And then brushes, that is the other really important thing. In general, my favorite brushes are the Morphe brushes, but the Anastasia brow brushes is what I prefer for my brows. So there's two kind of go-to brushes. This is the smaller one, and then the bigger one, you can see it has a spoolie on the end of it. I like the small one. I can link below the exact number of this one because I have totally disintegrated the number on this because I've used it for so long. So when I say use such a tiny amount of product, like the smallest amount you could possibly use, literally take it and just dab. Like there's nothing on this brush almost. Like that's all that you need. And then let's see, I'm gonna do this brow. I do use a spoolie on the end of the other brush to brush my hairs up to start. I want my brows to be higher versus lower, so that's why I start that way. Brush them up, and then, you know, we're in the middle of this isolation land, so they are a little bit rough right now, but that is okay. Whose isn't? I start about right here, so do not start on the ends. It's going to be too heavy. Start more in the middle, and I start at the bottom and just using really tiny strokes move that product up. You can see it's already getting a little bit darker, but there was seriously hardly any product on my brush, so I already have to go back in and just keep working it in like this. Can you guys see that? Hopefully. Sorry, I'm on an iPhone camera because this is not a professional video. Okay, so I do kind of a harsher line on the bottom because I do like it to kind of have that crisp look. A lot of people don't like that. That's completely fine if that's not your style. But I do like it to be a little bit sharper, especially right now because I have hairs growing everywhere. And so I'm kind of making that false illusion that they're waxed when they're not. And then the top of my brow, it's hard to see it right here, but the hairs go up a little bit higher than I want them to. instead of taking the time to wax those off, I'm just not going to. And I'm just gonna draw the line where I want it to be versus where my eyebrow actually is, so whatever. Okay, let's talk eyebrow shapes really fast. Here's kind of my go-to trick with eyebrow shapes. Use this longer brush for you. So to figure out where you want your eyebrow to start, put a brush at the edge of your nose, and where it goes up to is where you want your eyebrow to go out to. So my natural hairs end way sooner than where I actually want them, so I'll show you how I get them there. And then leave it here and take it, if you just do, what's the angle? 45-degree angle. Ooh, okay, that was hard. A 45-degree angle, where does it land? That's where you want the peak of your brow to be, and then a straight line through the edge of your eye is where you want the brow hairs to go down to. Cat. Really? It's my cat. So that's kind of how you figure out the shape of your eye. So here's the edge, middle, and end of your brow. So it's kind of the path that I follow. So let's finish that peak. I swear eyebrow videos have to be one of the most boring videos, so I hope you're still hanging in there. Okay, so here's what's super, super important, and this is where I see a lot of people go wrong, is this inner part right here. A lot of times I see girls do it just super harsh, and it just makes you look kind of more fake, or really just like an aggressive hard line right here on your eyebrows, and it tends to stand out a little bit, so I don't love that. So here, what I've been doing is just doing these same little tiny strokes, moving the product on my brows, and then now there's almost nothing left on my brush. This would be when you would typically go back in and get more. Don't go back in and get more. Use whatever little tiny residue is left on the brush and just drag that product out in little tiny motions as far inward towards your nose as you want it to go. But do not get more product on your brush, please. And that gives you like a nice little fade inwards. And it's actually going to be even more harsh in a minute when we go in and make it. I'm going to make this a little bit darker, because like I said, I'm using a lighter color than the roots of my hair, so I can afford to make it a little bit darker right now. So I'm going to go back in one more time and just darken it up. And there are so many different brow styles. This is just kind of what I'm doing with my brows right now. The trend is moving towards a less harsh brow. I think it's kind of the fad to do really dark brows. I feel like we're moving away from that a little bit. And that's where that pencil that I showed you in the beginning really comes into play, because that is good for that lighter brow. This is waterproof. I'm not trying to go outside and get caught in a rainstorm and lose an eyebrow, so you know, we gotta go with that waterproof for weather purposes. I'd say, you know, if I was working out really hard at the gym, but TBD on that one. Okay, so this is kind of the darkness that I was looking for. And you could easily stop here. Absolutely. I tend to do my brows kind of fast, and so they might not be perfect. At this point, what I would do is take a spoolie. There's a spoolie on the end of that that pencil from Anastasia, or that other brush has a spoolie. You can just pick one up at any store, and just brush those hairs. And that kind of smooths the product out. If you didn't apply it perfectly, it kind of does it for you. And then I'm going to go in with the powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Brow Duo in dark brown, and I'm going to use the darkest color in this. And I'm just going to darken it up just a tiny bit more. It also kind of covers, it's so easy to move, of course, because it's a powder and it's not a pomade, so it's really easy to cover up any mistakes you might have made with a pomade too. And then I'm going to take this lighter color and fill in that middle, or sorry, that end section. So it still has that like lighter fade. And if you go in a little bit too dark, you can use this spoolie as almost an eraser if you do it enough. So that's why you also have to be careful. Run through it one time to smooth out your brows, and then multiple times if you want to erase what you just did. I'm gonna jump off and do my other brow, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished this brow. Literally did it exactly the same as the other brow. And then if you want to be really extra, I tend to skip this step a lot, but if you have thicker brows, you can use Anastasia Beverly Hills also has a clear brow gel. It's like hairspray for your brow hairs. You use it like a mascara, just glide it through, and it makes your hairs stay in the same place all day, which is amazing. Okay. I have like some longer hairs over here that'll tend to fall down throughout the day, and it makes my eyebrows kind of jagged, so I should be using this a lot, but I kind of forget about it, to be honest. And I do have thinner hair, so I don't feel like it makes a huge difference for me. But if you have thicker brow hair, that is amazing. So here is the final look. Shit. It's my first day. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I feel like that's what all the professional people do. Leave me a comment in the comment box below. Be sure to leave me a like. That was perfect. Nailed it. And I will answer your questions. Obviously, it's so different for different people's brows, so that's kind of what I do. I can do some other styles in the future if you're interested, but that's my go-to look. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in.